So now we're in the backyard, and this is the patio. And put slate in between. And this side of it is guarded by two Nippon daisies. And I believe this tall thing is a weed, but we'll let it go for a while. This other tall item here is a volunteer sunflower. You'll see several of them. And one of my first tomatoes of the year in the pot. This edging right here has a lot of gorp, and I love this sedum, but I haven't quite figured out how to make this. This gets different every year, but I put in some tomatoes this year here just because I had extras, and another volunteer sunflower, and more coreopsis. And this is an idea I got from Tom. Thank you very much. It's a plant that we actually, I want to say I started out with maybe 4 of each color, white, blue, and red. And they actually have done pretty poorly, and now they've come back. This right here is more tomatoes and a volunteer sunflower, and then right down here, oh, I see, more tomatoes, and my hummingbird feeder, which I've got to refill. And then this is another area where I've tried to put stuff and different things every year, and I thought I had it down this year but didn't work. And now you'll see why we have all these volunteer sunflowers. I've got the bird feeders right here, and of course, how can we say this? The birds don't know how to use knives, forks, and spoons. So when they get to the sunflower seeds, or actually when I start to put the sunflower seeds in, it spills. So we now have these volunteer sunflowers, which, you know, what the heck. Plus, as an added bonus, I've got 2 corn. One right here, and one right there. Now, I'm going to go back out. This Yoshino cherry in the middle is new this year. I had a dogwood that died, and up front around the border were the daffodils, and they've come and gone. And then I put in some Asian lilies, which are absolutely stunning, and they are as big as my hand. See if we can get that in there. And roughly about 2 feet high. And then we have some Alabama slammer right in the front of the tree, which they've already bloomed. And then going around towards the back, these are the peonies. They're all up front, and they have bloomed mostly probably about 2 weeks ago or so when I wasn't here, so I've missed this year's bloom. And then here are the oregano that I put in, wrong way, about 4 years ago, and that's gone. And I just didn't have the heart to tear them all out, or actually I probably tried to tear them all out and they just came back. Over here is my crimson oak tree, which is doing much better. Unfortunately, I almost girded it down at the bottom here, and it's now coming back rather well, so I can't complain about that. And then on the side of the fence is, you know, what, probably 3 foot by 2 foot parts of this tree that I took down a year or so ago. And over here is the herb and leftover garden. Leftover tomatoes, not doing very well. My 2 leftover flowers, one coreopsis and one something or other. And then we have mint. And this one is, I think, the cinnamon. And this is a spearmint. Oh yeah, yeah. And then, let's see, thyme. And then, oh, tarragon. And what is this one? Oh, Siam basil. And gotta get the weeds out of here. Some parsley, flat, plain, and then curly. And then I'm growing some nice grass here, which I can't do in the rest of the yard. And I want to say garlic chives and a little purple sage, and then regular sage. Oh, savory is what was back there. It didn't make it. And then some basil faulty right there. And now this is the back corner, which was a disaster. Nothing grew here. So we've now put in, or I put in some lilies up front, and they're just blooming right here. And it has the nicest purple flowers I've ever seen. Back once again, the bearded irises are gone for the year. And then here, this used to be covered with this creeping Jenny, which you can see a little bit of, but for whatever reason, it's died back. And so I'm going to have to redo this with something. And here's the other side of the creeping Jenny, which is done well. In the back, these are Tom's hosta that I just put in, and they look like they're starting to do well. And then more tree trunks from other trees that I cut down. And let's see, what do we have here? We've got caladium that I just put in, elephant ears. This bare triangle right here was a combination of, I want to say irises and daffodils, but they've died back already. That was early spring color. Towards the back here, I have some daisies. Right, and this is just all a lot of mixed stuff, a fern or two here or there. Let's see, my fig tree died last year, so I've now put in a river birch, and that hasn't died back as best you can say. And then there are more daisies up front here, and then we start to go to the hosta. And all of these hosta from here on over to here, roughly about 6 by 20, about 120 square feet, all come from 5 hosta that were up by the deck. Now these in the back are Leland cypress, which I have put in, and they are 4 years old. They started out 3 or 4 feet, and they are now about 12, and in about 2 more years they will cover the entire back fence. And this is the 3rd tree I took down.